Hello. Happy week 8 of me being pregnant. Not that many changes to report. I'm not having morning sickness. I'm not gaining weight. Exhaustion is getting a little better, like management-wise. Pregnancy fog brain and being hormonal and moody and crying, that's still happening, but things are good. I made it to the gym once this week, which I was very proud of myself. But then, yesterday I came home, had a good cry, yelled at the dog, took a bath, and ate a bunch of ice cream. So you take it one day at a time, and you hope that, you're more happy than sad. This week we are the size of a kidney bean. So we went from a blueberry to a kidney bean. And we're growing fingers and toes, and apparently the baby is starting to move, but I won't be able to feel it for a while. I think this week I just really wanted to talk about our path through infertility, because it's been a huge journey, and so many of y'all have been on it with me and been supportive, and I appreciate you guys so much. But the thing that sucks about infertility is you wish that it was so straightforward that you could just write a treasure map that explains like what you did to get to success, and that way other people could just follow the same instructions and find themselves there. And I don't have that, so I can talk about exactly what's transpired in the past 2.5 years, and maybe it'll help someone, or maybe it'll just help reinforce how cruel infertility is, because it seems mindless. But rewinding back to October of 2017, that fall me and Jeremy both were offered promotions that required us to move to Utah, and we declined it. We weren't even engaged then, and so we were going home that day and having this serious conversation of like, what do we want in life if we're not focusing on this career that we're in right now? And the answer was we wanted to start a family. So that exact moment where we expressed our intention and took that those next steps, like, they mean a lot to me. And I'd already been tracking my period since April of that year, and I might have already been taking prenatals. Like, I knew I wanted to have this man's baby from like the moment I met him. But I had to wait for him to get on that track with me. So yeah, I made an appointment, and I was gonna have my copper IUD removed, and that should be straightforward, but it's not. My copper IUD broke off inside me, so we couldn't start planning and trying to have a baby right away. I had to have 2 different procedures to scrape it all out, and an MRI to confirm that there were no copper pieces still in me. And so technically we didn't have a cycle where we were trying to get pregnant until December of that year. And so everything changed after the hysteroscopy, where they scraped my uterine wall. Everything's changed since then, and so that next 6 months was really traumatic for me. My periods changed to be terribly short and fast and hard and large blood clots, not to be graphic, but it was just, I wasn't sure if I was having like spontaneous early abortions, because we were trying to have a baby, and I'd have these luteal stages that were lasting 18 days. And so I'd get my hopes up, because after you ovulate and you're not having a period, and it seems like your period's late, but you're taking all these pregnancy tests and they're not positive, and then bam, you're hit with like this catastrophic avalanche of menstruation. It was terrible, and I missed a lot of work because it was like, for those 24 hours I was incapacitated. And the worst part was, you go to the doctor and you say, something is terribly wrong inside me. And they say, oh, that's just your new normal. That's what your period's gonna look like. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing we can do. So that was disappointing and terrible. We tried to get pregnant naturally for the first year, and we were unsuccessful. And you go back to your doctor and you're like, what am I what am I doing wrong? Like, holy crap. We did this procedure and I've been having these terrible periods, but I am tracking and successfully showing I'm ovulating. We tried 3 rounds of Clomid. It was 50 milligrams. We documented that I ovulated each time I took it. The side effects were terrible, like gain weight, don't feel sexy enough to want to do it to make a baby, but we were trying really hard and nothing was happening. So, you know, the next step is they refer you to a fertility specialist. And actually, so when they were doing the MRI to look for the copper bits, they discovered I had a dermoid cyst on one of my ovaries. And you know, it was one of those, like, in the back of the head, they're like, it shouldn't affect your fertility, but maybe it is for you. So last March in 2019 is when I had a procedure where they go in and they remove the cyst, and that's when when they removed it, my ovaries were growing teeth. So that's terrible, and maybe it was affecting my fertility. They never really could say. But yeah, they pulled out 2 molars, and it grows like human fat and hair. It's terribly gross. But they removed that from me, and then they're like, no, you know, I think it was 2018 that they did that. It was a while ago. But anyway, it doesn't matter the timeline, but I went home to heal, and we kept trying to have, you know, get pregnant naturally, and it still wasn't working. So this past fall is when we tried to do IUI, and I didn't like the idea of it. It didn't feel natural. There's nothing wrong with IUI if that's how you get pregnant, but it just felt too rushed, too medical. I didn't believe that they were going to sync up my cycle correctly and that it would be successful, but it also was a shit ton of money. I mean, even with my insurance, it was $600 out of pocket for us, and that quickly was the realization of, we can't keep doing this every month. Like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry it might not happen for us. And so after that, we did keep taking fertility drugs. So I took 2 months of Femara, and then on the 3rd month, the fertility specialist was out of town, and her fill-in did not do it correctly and didn't re-up my Femara prescription, and instead she recommended I take Clomid at 100 milligrams, which was twice the dose I'd already taken before, and I just didn't have an option, so I took it. And I felt miserable and terrible, and the side effects were, I was bloated, I gained weight, I was in pain, like internally, and I told one of my good friends, I was like, I'm never taking this drug again, it's terrible, it's not worth it. And of course, that's the month I get pregnant. So I hate how it makes you feel, but it might help you be successful. And I don't know if the 2 months of Femara were getting my cycle synced up, and then the Clomid just kicked my ass and made me ovulate more than before. I don't know. So that's the medical way we got pregnant. But the weird thing was, the Clomid didn't make me ovulate the way I was expecting. I got 2 follicle checks where they look at your ovaries to see if you're growing good size eggs, and both checks were wah wah, you know, like it just didn't go anywhere. And so we thought the cycle was a bust, and then maybe 3 weeks after I thought I should have ovulated, I started having those fertility signals of like the white egg yolk wetness. And so I said, hey Jeremy, like, we should have sex tonight. And that's not a very romantic way to get knocked up, but I'm glad that I listened to those fertility signals and that I did have intercourse, because I'm pretty sure that's how we got pregnant. Anyway, if you're going through infertility, I'm so sorry. Your body should work better and not make you feel the way it does. And let's talk about PCOS sometime, because that's actually what they think is causing my infertility. That'll take another 10 minutes to explain and talk about the things you can do to improve your fertility once you address, you know, the underlying disease. But yeah, I love you all, and thank you for being on this journey with me, and maybe next week I'll show you my pants because they just came in the mail. So I'm very excited. Anyway, I will see y'all soon. Love you.